to fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. I've entitled this piece, For Britain Explains Who and What They Are For. What a refreshing change to hear a sensible and open approach to the real problems of our time. Problems that, it must be pointed out, have been brought on us all by supposedly unthinking and unfeeling politicians. That is, of course, if you are to take them at face value that they themselves didn't comprehend the results of their unconsidered and ill-considered actions. We'll leave history to determine that one. Something else in this piece that might be a little bit disturbing. The word majority is used on a number of occasions to justify why things are to be done in a certain way. Now, I would suggest probably a bit of a rethink on that. Because of the massive invasion of the UK, it is probably not advisable for them to use that term. Here's the clip. Links on my site. Your thoughts.
So we are no threat to any minority. I certainly have never expressed anything that makes me a threat to minorities. I believe fully in individual civil rights, and we will all have the same individual civil rights. Our society will be based, however, on the culture and morals of the majority. We will not have a majority which is going against its conscience in order to accommodate minorities. Everyone will have the same rights, but we will, for democratic reasons, have a society where the majority's wishes are respected. And of course, in our case, that means that the public space, the democracy, our democratic process reflects the values of the British majority. So we are not a threat to minorities. I also understand clearly the difference between democracy and tyranny of the majority. And tyranny of the majorities is when the majority decides to remove the rights and oppress minorities. This is not what we are talking about. We are talking about democracy with minority rights as protected as part of that, with equal rights for everyone under a single law decided in our parliament. We are pro freedom of speech. We think everybody should be allowed to express their views without losing their jobs, without being threatened, and we believe in liberties, in the liberty to live our lives as we see fit within the law. But we will not tolerate alien cultural practices which we find to be immoral, such as, of course, obvious ones like apostasy violence, or threatening people for blasphemy, or demanding that all of society stay quiet in order not to offend your feelings. No, we believe in freedom of speech and robust debate, and we'll defend that. We believe in the equality of all people before the law. That is a democratic value, and we are Democrats. We believe in the equal rights between men and women, but we also believe in stable and we believe in equal rights, of course, among races. But we also believe in stable and sane democracy. You simply cannot have an open border. We need a sane and sensible immigration policy. An open border is a disaster for so many reasons. It's a resources disaster. It's a planning disaster. How can we possibly plan how to run the country when we don't know how many people are going to be in it this time next year? It's a disaster. It's a mess. And it's an extreme ideology that calls for open borders. We are the moderate voices. We are the sane voices. And it is the pro-open border extremists are radicals. It's a radical open border is a radical and dangerous idea, and we will not. We don't have any. Obviously, everyone, as I've said several times, everyone has the same rights, and we do have religious freedom. But we will not have laws broken in the name of religious freedom. And at the moment, particularly, of course, with Islam, we have the law of the land is subject to Islam, and not the other way around. It must be the other way around. And even if that means that we're singling out one religion for specific criticism, then so be it. We will restore some law and order and apply the law to Islam. We will also very much need to talk about. I suggest we halt immigration altogether for a few years at least. But we very much need to talk about what kind of immigration. A point system is all very well, but it's what those points are that are going to matter.
You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.